I am your host, the Beto Man, Beto, and we have two very interesting and important guests here today, working for the city of Bell out of Los Angeles, California, you know?
Yes.
Órale. All right. So, who do we have here? Introduce yourself.
Hello, this is Alicia Romero, a councilwoman for the City of Bell, serving my second term. Last year I was mayor, and I'm happy to be here to share the unearthing of our history.
All right.
And my name is Javier Ochiqui. I'm the Contracts and Facilities Manager with the City Manager's Office, City of Bell.
All right. So let's jump into your background just real quick. And let's and you guys can jump back and forth, ¿verdad? Tell me a little bit about your parents and where they're from.
Both of my parents are from Zacatecas, Mexico. My mother specifically from Jalpa, Zacatecas, and my father's parents also from Jalpa, Zacatecas, but my father was born in Santa Monica, California.
And my parents were from, they were raised in Tijuana, Mexico.
All right. And where did you guys go to elementary, middle school, and high school?
Well, I was born and raised in the city that I now serve, in Bell, California. I was born, in the city next door, Maywood, and I went to Woodlawn, Nimitz, and Bell High School.
And as Javier, I attended Olivewood Elementary School, Central Elementary School, and graduated from Sweetwater High School in National City in San Diego.
In San Diego, all right,
San Diego.
Good. Yeah. And any formal education? Did you guys go to college, military, anything like that?
Yes, I have my bachelor's in theater arts, my master's from Cal State Dominguez Hills,
All right.
and I also pursued a teaching credential, counseling credential, and my master's in school counseling, and I currently work as a dean of discipline in LA Unified.
Ay, Chihuahua. Estás bien rounded, eh?
And this Javier, I actually, after graduating from Sweetwater High School, I got accepted to UC Riverside, and I studied political science and sociology, and I earned my bachelor's degree, and I pursued my higher education, and I earned my master's degree in public administration from Cal State San Bernardino.
All right. Now, before you guys got involved in city politics and all of that good stuff, what type of jobs did you guys hold after graduation?
I've been a teacher, counselor, dean. I also did other little interesting side interest jobs. Polygraph examiner, kept me single forever.
After graduating, I worked for the HR department in the city of Colton, and then I worked for the housing authority of the Riverside County, and then I worked as the analyst for the public works department in the city of San Bernardino, and I was there for about 6 years.
All right. So we are here to talk about the Sleepy Lagoon case and a monument that's going to be put up, I believe, ¿verdad, in the city of Bell. So let's get into the Sleepy Lagoon case. Now, for most of those individuals out there that don't know what the Sleepy Lagoon case is, we're going to get into detail. But if you've ever seen the movie The Zoot Zoot, con, of course, Edward James Olmos, and just a really good movie. It was also a theater play. That's what we're talking about. So tell me a little bit of background about what happened with the Sleepy Lagoon case.
Well, as you recall, in 1940 in East Los Angeles, there was an area that contained a water reservoir nicknamed the Sleepy Lagoon, and it was named after a big band leader, Harry James' song. And it was in this location on August 2nd, 1942, that a young man named Jose Gallardo Diaz was murdered. The Los Angeles Police Department arrested 17 Mexican-American youths as suspects. 9 defendants were convicted of a second-degree murder, and the rest were charged with lesser offenses. The convictions were reversed on appeal in 1944, and the case is considered a precursor to the Zoot Suit riots of 1943. And the cause of Jose Gallardo Diaz's death remains a mystery to this day. And recently, in 2013, the city of Bell sold approximately 40 acres of land to a private developer, and this land contained the area known as Sleepy Lagoon. And as part of the purchasing agreement, the developer agreed to build a monument commemorating the Sleepy Lagoon, and we just want to get the community's input of what that monument should be, what it should look like, and where it should be placed. The current location, it's a heavily industrial location. It's not really family friendly, so we're wondering if it should be near there or move to a different location. So we want to get people's opinions, and we want them to, help us what the project should look like.
All right. So let's just cover just a little bit why it's important, why a monument is important, ¿verdad? I believe certain books like Occupied America by Rodolfo Acuña mentioned that it was 22 individuals that were incarcerated for 2 years. And they weren't allowed to take showers, shave every time they went into the court to criminalize them, to make them look bad, ¿verdad?
Right.
And this was an injustice that was happening, of course, to Mexican Americans in the 1950s, 60s, 70s, of course, 40s, ¿verdad? And so that's why it's important to remember these boys that were basically crucified by the court systems because of their race, not because of something alleged that they had killed this other individual in some kind of fictitious gang fight that the police created. That's why the monument is important. So when we talk about a monument, what type of monument are we looking at, and where do you want it placed, ¿verdad?
Yes. Right now, what we're really excited is to, we're in the conceptual stage of the actual monument, and of course the location, and my colleague, Councilman Nestor Valencia, he's been the councilman who's been spearheading this from the beginning, and he's involved other community activists, and so right now we're in the infancy stage of this project, and we want different stakeholders to give us input. This is something that it really belongs to the community at large, to the Latino community, and we also want this to be a very educational monument. We want this to be an interactive one. We want this to endure, and so it's not just about putting a plaque or just a statue. We really want this to be a monument, a new monument. So we're in that exploration, and it's very important to bring out and highlight our local history, and so we're very very proud to bring this forward.
All right. And so you guys are having I guess a meeting, right? And that's coming up on August the 9th?
Yes.
Of 2017. Tell me about this meeting.
Sure. It's a regular scheduled council meeting, and it's going to be held at the community center located at 6250 Pine Avenue at 7 p.m. And we just want to discuss the project, and we want to have people come and give us their opinion and what the project, what the monument should look like, and where it should be placed, and what they would like to see. What would be a fitting monument for the Sleepy Lagoon? Different people have different perspectives, and we want to hear from them.
All right. So are you guys looking for artists?
Yes, we're looking for artists because I think this monument can have different elements, and it could have different components, from the general design to the specific parts, and we really want we would really like this to be a team effort, and so we're looking for people to come forward and be a part of it.
Okay, so when we talk about the monument, are we looking at kind of like shaping a whole landscape, or are we talking about just one statue? Are we talking about a fountain? What are we talking about? Do you have any conceptuality of that?
Yes, we have some ideas. We wanted, simply because it was a lagoon, it was a family destination. It had a function and a purpose, and we would like that represented in this monument, as well as have an elaborate story as well, where people can come to this monument and really get a feel for everything that happened before, during, and after. And so yes, we're right now, sky's the limit, and so we really want this to be whatever it needs to be. And so yes, namely one idea is it to have some kind of water element. We just don't want it to be kind of a static physical location. We want it to be a little bit more dynamic, and so we're looking for all the opportunities that this location can bring.
All right, so then where can they get a hold of you? Where can they contact you? Like if people want to submit maybe a rendition of what they think in their mind it should look like, is there a website? Is there somewhere that or someone that they could call?
Well, definitely our website is the first place to make any kind of contact with either Javier Ochiqui, or with our councilman Nestor Valencia, or myself, Alicia Romero, at cityofbell.org. We would like for people to actually come and meet with us and reach out to us and come to the already scheduled meetings that we already have set forth in the coming months. So there is a timeline, there are specific meetings, and so it is an open invitation, and so it's just a matter of just reaching out to us and presenting ideas. I mean, if people already have something in mind, whether it's already in a visual format, then that's greatly welcomed.
All right. Javier, anything else?
Again, yeah, we just want the community to get involved, to give us their opinions, and the monument's going to be what the community wants it to be. We really wanted to come from the public, as Council Romero indicated. We don't want just a rock with a plaque. We want something more fitting. We want something where families can go and relax and kind of recreate the original purpose of the Sleepy Lagoon. It was a water feature. So if we can incorporate a water feature, that would be great. So this is something that we need the public to give input on, because we're definitely open for suggestions.
All right. So do you know what corner this is going to be located at? What property exactly?
Well, there is the actual location where the Sleepy Lagoon was, and it's currently it's currently on private property. We're in negotiations with the owner of the property, ongoing negotiations. However, we're open to the idea of a location that's a lot more accessible, of perhaps where more people can take notice, as opposed to people going specifically and knowing where it's at. We want people to kind of stumble upon it, and again, we just don't want it so hidden. But we do kind of, we're also looking at kind of a dual location where you have something that marks the location, the actual location, but we also want to be able to have something on a bigger scale and something that would be frequented and something that can individuals, families, the actual residents of Bell can have that as a focal point perhaps in the city. So that's where we have to look at the city's existing properties and where we can have it, and where the different logistics as far as where it would be a safer place. So we're looking at what are the possibilities within the city, within the residential side of the city. Again, just where it could serve even more of a purpose. It's not only the monument itself, but this is something that could stand out in our city. Not that we're not proud of our industrial zone. It's just, we just want more bang for our buck, and we want people to, we want children of all ages, residents of all walks of life to be able to see it. So, I mean, that's what where I guess I'm throwing in my input, where I would want the most out of it. But again, we're right now, we're in the early stages. We're exploring, and who knows, maybe we don't know what more can come out of this.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. All right. Now, is the once again the website?
It is cityofbell.org, and we have our councilman Nestor Enrique Valencia, myself Alicia Romero, and we have our contact person, our contracts manager, Javier Ochiqui.
All right, and they can email any one of you three, ¿verdad?
Absolutely.
All right, and now getting back to some of that history, Javier, can you tell me anything else about that history?
Well, again, like we mentioned earlier, it was really a case where the adults or teenagers were persecuted based on their image. It wasn't necessarily a crime thing. They just didn't really fit in. They were Mexicanos by blood, but they were Americans. So some of them were or second and third generation, where they weren't Mexicanos, but they weren't Americanos either. So they kind of created their own style of dress. And I think, as you mentioned before, the criminal justice department criminalized their image, and by pinning that murder on them, it criminalized the zoot suits. And if you wear a zoot suit, therefore you were a criminal, and that's not the case. We have doctors and lawyers now that wear zoot suits, and they're very educated, and it's just a style of dress. So it's not affiliated with crime or gangs, but that case really put it out there where, if you dressed or looked like these kids, you're related to crime, and
yeah, it's unfortunate, but a lot of people were wearing the suits. That even the famous actor Danny Kaye, who came out in a lot of movies, and the jitterbug was very important. So they needed a very loose-fitting clothes in order to dance and do the jitterbug, in order to jump around and do all the moves that they were doing.
That's right.
So it was very important that the clothes matched the dance. And so then when
Right.
the zoot suits came out, everybody had their own little spin on it. Chicanos also adopted the wear, so all colors of people, whites, blacks, Chicanos, they were all wearing zoot suits at that time. Yeah, it's a very interesting history. And so, if you guys want to read about the Sleepy Lagoon case, there are some books that do mention it. It's of course Occupied America by Rodolfo Acuña. There's another one called the Zoot Suit Riots by I believe his last name is Mazon, Mazon, and you can check that out. But there's several articles and stuff that you can read about the Sleepy Lagoon case and why it went to court, and how they were held, basically against their will, these individuals. So the monument is specifically for these individuals and the struggle that they went through to declare them innocent, that they were innocent of all crimes, and they were turned loose, ¿verdad?
That's right. That's right.
All right. And so let's jump. We'll get back right now to the Sleepy Lagoon case and the monument. But tell me, why you guys got involved with the city or into politics? Can you tell me that?
Well, as we experienced one of the biggest tragedies in our local municipal government, the Bell scandal, almost 7 years ago, all of us residents just came out from hiding, and we decided to take our city back. And through activism, through the political process, we some of us got elected, and we've been recovering. We've been recovering slowly but surely, but we've had some major successes, and we're the new Bell, and we're excited. We were a new council. Now we're a seasoned council, and now we're catching up. We're catching up after the years of struggle, after the years of setbacks, the years of a prior government that fell by the wayside, and now we are building our city, rebuilding it, and there have been some challenges, but we're here, and we're growing, and so I was fortunate to be elected in 2013, and that's when some of these talks of the Sleepy Lagoon popped up. As far as, well, there was this property land deal, and so there were talks about this monument, and so we're now in this year, in 2017, where this is now where we're really ready to have it happen, and so we're much better prepared for this, and so I was part of the ad hoc committee some time ago, and now I'm here to be of any assistance to make sure this happens. We the council have very, very busy lives, but we still have to get the job done, and we still have to move the business of the people forward.
All right. And as a woman, did you ever think that you would become the mayor of Bell? That you would get elected? We go through life, right, struggling and applying for jobs and getting hired, and one of the most difficult things is to get elected.
Yes, it is. It is a difficult thing, and one just has to send that message that you're going to do your best. Your only promise is that you're going to do your best, your most humanly possible best. And yes, and I think the most difficult part of becoming elected is seeing yourself in that, seeing yourself in the possibility of being in that title. But once you get elected, all of a sudden the reality sets in. It's the responsibility that you take on, and I only have to say is that we are our own biggest barrier, and And if we don't see ourselves in politics, then it will never happen. So the thing is, I encourage all Latinos, women, men, just to get involved at any level, whether it be activism, whether it be volunteer work, whether it be just being informed, being journalists, being reporters, being bloggers, everything, running for the actual office and being commissioners. And there's so much people can do besides just being in an elected office. There's appointments of all sorts at the city, county, state levels. So we only limit ourselves by not being informed as to what we can do to help.
All right. Javier?
Well, I always loved politics. I studied politics. I was a congressional intern for the House Budget Committee in Washington, D.C., and I always wanted to just make a change. I wanted to just get involved and learn. Both of my parents were born and raised in Mexico, and they didn't know how this country worked. So I wanted to figure it out. So I studied, federal, state, local, and here I am now. I'm in the city manager's office, and I'm proud to serve. And I just want to help the community and do what's best.
All right. Any last comments about the Sleepy Lagoon case I mean the monument, ¿verdad? The Sleepy Lagoon case was settled a long time ago. Pero aquí estamos with the city of Bell, council members, and we're talking about building a monument to remember the Sleepy Lagoon case and the individuals that went through that struggle. And so then if you guys want to participate, there will be an upcoming council meeting on August the 9th, and the address is?
It's 6250 Pine Avenue, and it's going to be at the Bell Community Center in the city of Bell.
And that's on August 9th. What time?
7 p.m.
All right. And if they have questions or anything like that, they can also go to the website, bell.org?
Cityofbell.org.
All right.
Yes, and we see this as a time capsule, is something that will commemorate a time period, and this is important history.
All right. Any last comments?
Again, if you want to email me directly, my personal email is at jochiqui@cityofbell.org. Once again, that's jochiqui@cityofbell.org, and you can email me for more information.
All right. That's going to do it for us, Raza. We want to thank our compañeros here. You guys will come back again, ¿verdad?
Yes.
Absolutely. What a pleasure.
All right. That's going to do it for us, Raza. You've been listening to Chicano Highlights. I am your host, the Beto Man, and we will see you hasta la próxima. Remember to tune in every Friday night from 5:30 in the afternoon to 7 a.m. in the morning here on KUCR 88.3 FM. Also, simultaneously broadcasting on livestream KUCR.org. And also podcasting on EastLAReview.com and ChicanoTexMex.com. Órale pues, ahí te guacho.